In this week's space news, Intuitive Machines goes beyond lunar landers. Intuitive Machines, known for its lunar landers, is diversifying into data services and other activities after 2 missions resulted in toppled landers. During a recent earnings call, executives outlined plans to develop lunar communications and other services, which they believe could be more profitable than lunar landers. In 2024, NASA awarded Intuitive Machines a contract to provide communications and navigation services around the Moon. The company is also one of 4 selected to deliver direct-to-Earth communications, as NASA phases out its aging TDRS satellites in favour of modern, cost-effective commercial alternatives. CEO Steve Altemus announced progress on deploying 5 lunar orbiting satellites to support future missions. The first will launch as a secondary payload on the IM-3 lunar lander mission in 2026, followed by 2 more on IM-4 in late 2027. The final 2 are slated for 2028, though deployment details remain undisclosed. Beyond communications, Intuitive Machines is developing Nebula, an orbital transfer vehicle or space tug, based on its Nova-C lunar lander. The company is also developing a Lunar Terrain Vehicle or LTV, one of 3 prototypes NASA is evaluating for a future Artemis mission. Additionally, the Nova-D, a larger lunar lander capable of delivering bigger payloads, is in development. So far, only Firefly's Blue Ghost lunar lander has had a 100% successful lunar landing, with other companies such as iSpace and Astrobotic failing to reach or land safely on the Moon. The company has more lunar lander missions planned in the future and will hopefully stick the landing on the next attempt. Okay, on to our second story this week on a European startup working on a crew capsule. The Exploration Company reveals next crew capsule design. The Exploration Company, a leading European space startup, focuses exclusively on developing space capsules, a unique position in Europe's space industry. Previously featured on this channel, the well-funded company has secured a contract with the European Space Agency to deliver its next cargo capsule to the International Space Station by 2028, pending the completion of key milestones. At the Paris Air Show this week, the Exploration Company unveiled its next crew vehicle, a capsule designed to carry astronauts into space, similar to SpaceX's Crew Dragon. The vehicle can transport 5 astronauts to and from low Earth orbit and is capable of docking with the ISS. It could also serve future commercial space stations, such as those developed by Varda Space, Axiom Space and the Starlab project. The company has already signed contracts to support Axiom Station and Vast Haven 2 Station. Developing and certifying a crewed vehicle is expensive, estimated at €1 billion, far exceeding the financial capability of a private commercial startup. The Exploration Company acknowledges that political support and funding are essential for the project's success, targeting a launch readiness date of 2035 if backing is secured. The next crew vehicle aligns with ESA's Low Earth Orbit Cargo Return Services initiative, which funds the company's cargo capsule development and mandates future upgradability to crewed versions. Meanwhile, Thales Alenia Space is also developing a cargo vehicle under the same ESA program. Notably, the Exploration Company is the second European startup to announce a crew capsule. In 2024, PLD Space revealed Project Lince, a crew capsule for its Mura Next launchers. The Exploration Company is set to launch a subscale next cargo vehicle demonstrator named Mission Possible on SpaceX's Transporter 14 rideshare mission this weekend for Vandenberg Space Force Base. This mission will test the vehicle's re-entry shield, designed to endure the intense heat of atmospheric re-entry. The demonstrator lacks propulsion and will remain attached to the Falcon 9's second stage during a re-entry burn. After separation, it will begin its descent, finishing with a splashdown in the Pacific Ocean. The recovery vessel Makushin Bay, a 40-meter salvage ship, left port on the 10th of June, heading towards the expected splashdown zone. 2 team members from the Exploration Company are on board to retrieve the capsule post-splashdown. Current weather forecasts show favourable conditions for both the splashdown and recovery operations. Okay, on to our third story this week. Varda Space unveils in-house designed W-4 spacecraft. Varda Space, a US startup that manufactures pharmaceuticals in space. The company will launch its 4th spacecraft, the W-4, on a SpaceX rideshare mission from Vandenberg Space Force Base in California on the 21st of June 2025. Yes, this is the same flight the exploration company is flying on. In fact, if you looked closely at the photo of the payloads earlier in this video, you would have seen the Varda capsule on the left hand side. The W-4 will be Varda's first fully in-house built spacecraft. The company builds in-space manufacturing equipment inside a re-entry capsule. Once the manufacturing is complete, the capsule detaches from its host spacecraft, re-enters Earth's atmosphere and lands gently. The valuable pharmaceuticals are then recovered and delivered to clients. Previously, Rocket Lab built satellites hosting Varda's capsules. Now, Varda has taken control of the entire process by developing its own satellite platform. This vertical integration allows Varda to shorten the time between missions and customize vehicles to meet customers' needs. The company views this approach as critical to scaling its business, enabling a high mission cadence with more frequent launches. Nicknamed Winnebago, Varda's W-series spacecraft weigh approximately 300 kilos and support orbital missions lasting weeks or months. Each spacecraft comprises a satellite bus housing essential systems like power, propulsion, communications and navigation, and a re-entry capsule carrying the pharmaceutical payload. At mission's end, the spacecraft deorbits and the capsule re-enters Earth's atmosphere at speeds exceeding Mach 21. It then slows to deploy parachutes for a soft landing. The upcoming mission will test a new manufacturing technique called solution-based crystallization. In microgravity, this process creates crystal structures that are challenging or impossible to produce on Earth. In further positive news, the FAA has granted Varda a 5-year re-entry license permitting unlimited landings in Australia. The company anticipates rising demand from pharmaceutical companies, defense agencies, and organizations seeking microgravity research alternatives to the International Space Station. With the ISS set to retire soon and uncertainty surrounding commercial space stations, Varda positions its platform as a simpler, more cost-effective solution for such experiments. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching. Space News Live is on Saturday evening or Sunday morning, depending where you watch from. I recap the videos I posted this week, answer questions, respond to comments and chat messages, cover any missed news and preview upcoming content. I'd love for you to join if you can. Be sure to like and subscribe so you'll see our upcoming videos. We make videos every week covering the space industry with an emphasis on the smaller space startups that aren't covered so well on other channels. See you soon.